ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, we are glad to welcome you here in Ukraine, in Kiev, in our Institution of Information Technologies and Learning Tools. First of all, there are a few words about our institution. It was founded in 1999 and its mission is to carry out current basic and applied research on the problems of development, implementation and application of educational software and learning tools and ICT in education. Our institution was founded by Valery Bykov. He is director of our institution. He is the professor, the doctor of technical sciences, the member of National Academy of Pedagogical Sciences of Ukraine, the author more than 350 works in the field of ICT for education, educational technologies and learning tools, and internet-based learning, modeling and design of social systems, project management. Among the trends of research in our institution, there are distant and open education methodology and application, and this trend was promoted very much in recent years, and our institution was co-founder of Ukrainian Association of Distant Education, and we lead basic and applied research in this direction. And now there is another new and interesting topic of research, and this is cloud computing. This topic of research is highly connected to the problems of training of qualified engineering and technical personnel for the IT industry, which is a task of particular importance. Analysis of the problems of training of such personnel indicates an absence of interaction between IT education and the labor market of the sector. According to the study of IT training effectiveness among the top 12 universities, which prepare more than half of the staff in the area, we can see that only 37% of graduates were employed in the field of software development, and among those employed in the IT industry, only 60% have specialized IT education. So, despite a significant labor market need for IT specialists, there are problems of employment for IT professionals. The analysis of this problem in educational practice shows that there is a contradiction between, on the one hand, the objective need for continuous improvement of software and hardware power in training complexes, and on the other hand, the lack of ability in both qualitative and quantitative terms to maintain, manage, and develop ICT systems appropriately. Creating innovative ICT infrastructure in institution on the basis of cloud computing could solve some of the aforementioned problems, giving a way to modernize the learning environment. It could bridge the gap between the process of training and level of demand for their products, bringing together the learning resources for educational and industrial projects. As the main problem of cloud computing technologies implementation and promoting in educational institutions is the problem of training educational personnel, we proposed the holistic model of such personal training. And in the center of this model there is a learner. And there are certain types of competences and skills which the learner could gain within the environments. And there are domain competences, personal and social competences, and professional skills. This environment should be built with the most possible use of cloud computing tools and services, and also these questions should be included in the learning content on the all levels of education which this environment occupies according to the National Qualification Framework. To lead experimental research of cloud computing implementation in educational institutions, the joint laboratory Cloud Computing in Education was established in our institution with the vast experimental base on several universities of Ukraine, in particular on the basis of Kryvyi Rih National University. In our laboratory, the hybrid model of cloud-based learning environment was elaborated and implemented, as this is the most actual trend of development of cloud computing technologies. On the basis of this model, the single input into the learning environment was provided, and personal learning access from any device was supported. Within this model there are two parts, the private and the public part, and there are different types of learning resources which are situated in these parts. For example, in the private part, there are learning resources of corporate use with the limited access. And in the public part, there are learning resources which the user may access directly from any device. And this model may be also used to deliver access to remote learning laboratories, when the user can get access and manage and control the learning equipment from remote location. And we also lead research in this direction, for example, in the field of microprocessor study. After some experience with cloud computing technologies implementation, we can impose the future directions of research which indicate the problems which we are faced if to promote and implement the cloud computing in educational institutions. So, there is a need in fundamental and applied research on teaching science and technology involving the use of cloud computing. Also, we need to determine the engineering and pedagogical characteristics of ICT tools and other computer-based learning tools that are oriented for the use in the cloud infrastructure. There is a need to elaborate the methods of improving teaching curricula in view of cloud technology using, and also to develop techniques for appropriate training and retraining of teachers, teaching and educational staff, and management staff of the institution. There are several social benefits of the proposed approach, and there is a broadened use of ICT in education due to use of unified methods which are applicable in different levels and domains. Also, it stimulates take-up of learning technologies, encourage innovative use, and provide effectiveness of learning technologies. It provides more timely and effective acquisition of skills and competencies through learning technologies, and also increased awareness on the benefit of the adoption of emerging technologies in education. There are a few words about postgraduate studies in our institution. We have a specialized scientific council which award degrees in pedagogical sciences in the field of ICT for education. The postgraduate studies in our institution, the periodical scientific editions of our institutions, among them the electronic journal Information Technologies and Learning Tools, and there are scientific works of the institute. There are our contacts, and you are welcome to send comments to our blog, and thank you for attention.